This is Nightline. Tonight, the ketamine shot that killed Matthew Perry, the former live-in assistant to the beloved Friends star, sentenced today, becoming the fifth and last convicted after admitting he injected the actor with that lethal dose. What we now know about the star's last moments and what prosecutors say that assistant removed from the scene to try to cover up the crime.
Prosecutors accuse Iwamasa of obstructing their investigation.
Perry's family speaking out, their message to the man they trusted to keep their son and brother safe. Plus, Keke Palmer, the Emmy winner and star of films like Hustlers.
Hey, these are my sisters.
Hustling in a new heist film.
I shop here a lot, and I feel like I should have it all.
I Love Boosters.
I'll take it all home, eat it up, and shoot it out my eyes.
Where haute fashion meets hot looting.
You get it from the retail stores and you sell it back to the community.
Starring opposite Demi Moore.
I'm an innovator making art.
Just them two bouncing off of each other. It's electric.
What Palmer has to say to some of the film's critics.
I saw a comment on the trailer. It said, "Why are we glorifying looting?"
And surprise facelift, which Emmy winner revealed before and after photos, writing it cost her more than she's ever spent on a car. From ABC News headquarters in New York, this is Nightline. Thanks for joining us. Tonight, justice and heartbreak in an LA courtroom as Matthew Perry's live-in assistant, his friend and confidant, learned his fate for what some might consider the ultimate betrayal, injecting the actor who struggled with addiction for much of his adult life with the drug that killed him. Here's ABC's Trevor Ault.
I'm glad it's done, but to say I'm angry is an understatement.
The closing chapter for Matthew Perry's mother, Suzanne, and his stepfather, Keith Morrison, swarmed by cameras as they left the Los Angeles courtroom.
What happens if Matthew gets into any trouble with drugs at all? You call. Instead, he controls him by the use of ketamine.
Perry's live-in assistant, Kenneth Iwamasa, sentenced to 3 years and 5 months in prison and fined $10,000 for obtaining and injecting Perry with a lethal dose of ketamine. Iwamasa is now the last of 5 defendants sentenced in Perry's 2023 death.
He'll continue to regret forever his actions in this case.
Iwamasa and his attorney were inundated with questions after the sentencing and continued to defend his actions.
He could have said no. Mr. Perry could have said no. Mr. Perry's handlers could have said no. Mr. Perry's family could have said no along the way. This is not an incident that falls solely on the shoulders of Mr. Iwamasa.
But Mr. Iwamasa injected Mr. Perry.
At Mr. Perry's direction, he injected Mr. Iwamasa. Yes, at his boss's direction.
Iwamasa was facing up to 15 years in prison, but based on a number of factors, like participating in the prosecution and giving crucial information that convicted the other co-defendants, it was the government who requested 41 months, or a little under 3.5 years. And the judge went in line with that. Her words, he was reckless, but he's probably far more than that.
The 61-year-old was called a monster by Perry's loved ones, who felt Iwamasa's actions were the ultimate betrayal. Keith Morrison addressing Iwamasa in court, saying, "Because you were living a dandy life, you were in control of one of the most famous people in the world."
According to prosecutors, Iwamasa knew Matthew Perry since about 1992. They were friends, acquaintances back more than 30 years ago. And then in 2022, he becomes Matthew Perry's assistant. He's making $150,000 a year. He seems intimately involved in almost everything that's going on in Perry's life and Perry's career.
And devastating new details have emerged as prosecutors allege in court documents that Iwamasa lied to investigators numerous times and tampered with evidence after discovering Perry dead in his jacuzzi.
Prosecutors accuse Iwamasa of obstructing their investigation. They accuse him of hiring somebody to clean up the house, to discard ketamine vials.
Perry's family, in letters to the court, detailed their pain.
What really struck me is, as a judge reading that statement and seeing what Matthew Perry's mother wrote, it's not only the words of a mother who is heartbroken at the loss of her son through an overdose she describes, of somebody who the family trusted to help Matthew on his road of trying to live a life of sobriety.
Iwamasa received the second highest sentence in the case after Jasveen Songha, a convicted drug dealer nicknamed the Ketamine Queen, who often posted photos on social media depicting her high-end lifestyle.
The Ketamine Queen got the highest sentence of any of the 5 co-defendants in this case. She was hit with 15 years in prison. 2 of the other 5 are doctors who lost their license. One was granted probation, avoiding any prison time, and another 2.5 years in prison. Then there was Eric Fleming, who was given 2 years of prison for his involvement in the death of Matthew Perry.
Requesting 2 additional units and a supervisor respond to Lucille Drive.
The beloved actor's death rattled Hollywood and beyond in October of 2023.
We're learning more about Perry's final hours.
Known around the world as Chandler Bing on Friends.
I'm Chandler. I make jokes when I'm uncomfortable.
He spoke with Diane Sawyer in one of his final interviews about his struggles with substance abuse.
How will we know when you're in trouble, when you're not okay?
If I say, I'm just going to chill alone at home tonight. And part 2, the other thing, is if I ever say I'm cured.
For years, he battled addiction with drugs, alcohol, and ultimately ketamine, a powerful drug sometimes legally prescribed for mental health treatments.
Matthew Perry sought treatment for depression and anxiety and went to a local clinic where he became addicted to intravenous ketamine. When clinic doctors refused to increase his dosage, he turned to unscrupulous doctors who saw Perry as a way to make quick money.
A month before Perry's death, on September 30th, 2023, Iwamasa began looking to buy ketamine on the black market. The investigators uncovering what they say are a series of shocking text messages between 2 doctors, Salvador Plasencia and Mark Chavez.
They talk about exploiting Mr. Perry and taking advantage of his addiction. They write, quote, "I wonder how much this moron will pay."
According to the indictment, on that same day, Plasencia made a house call to the Pacific Palisades, delivering ketamine and showing Perry's assistant how to inject him at home.
Iwamasa has no medical training, so he had to figure out and learn how to inject this ketamine into Matthew Perry, and that it was allegedly Dr. Plasencia who said, "I will show you."
On October 4th, 2023, investigators say there was a trail of more text messages.
There were a lot of messages that went back and forth between Iwamasa and Dr. Plasencia saying, "We need more ketamine." But they didn't call it ketamine, they called it Dr. Pepper.
From September to October 2023, they distributed approximately 20 vials of ketamine to Mr. Perry in exchange for $55,000 in cash.
And finally, on October 28th, it would all come crashing down. As investigators say, Iwamasa gave Perry 2 shots of ketamine before 12:45 p.m. at his home there in the Pacific Palisades. Shortly after 1 p.m., Perry asked Iwamasa to prepare the jacuzzi and, quote, "shoot me up with a big one." The big one would be Perry's last.
Matthew Perry's family are really detailed in talking about the way that Iwamasa conducted himself. In the minds of the family, this is real treachery. This is somebody who they perceived was there as an angel, to be there to be Matthew Perry's aid in staying clean and sober.
Perry's mother, Suzanne Morrison, writing, "We trusted a man without a conscience, and my son paid the price." But Matthew Perry's memory continues to live on. Personal items from his estate will be auctioned off next month to benefit the Matthew Perry Foundation, a nonprofit created by his loved ones in his honor.
It's a complicated legacy. He's a cautionary tale in so many ways. And maybe the legacy winds up being the nonprofit foundation that was established in his name, and somehow some good can come of it.
Our thanks to Trevor. If you want to learn more about this story, watch Impact by Nightline's What Happened to Matthew Perry, now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu. And now a look ahead at tomorrow's show. So-called prediction markets let users bet on everything, from Taylor Swift's wedding date to Hailey Bieber's Met Gala dress. But experts say some of those making bank are betting on what they already know.
How do you find the neighbor, the cousin, the person who fielded a tip from an insider and they're trading?
And when we come back, we're with Emmy winner Keke Palmer and Boots Riley of I Love Boosters. Why they say their new flashy, fashion-forward film is about way more than shoplifting.
I just feel like, give it to me. It's mine anyway.
Welcome back. You know, Keke Palmer rose from cherished child actor to acclaimed leading lady. And she's back now in I Love Boosters. It's a new color-popping, fashion-forward film with hints of heist, twists of time travel, and a big shot of sweet revenge. ABC's Morgan Norwood sat down with the star and director of the surrealist spectacle.
I call it triple F, fashion, forward, philanthropy. I know how to spell philanthropy. Branding, though.
Step inside the neon-filled world of the Bay Area Boosters, a Robin Hood gang led by Keke Palmer, looting luxury goods and selling them cheap.
First of all, what is a booster?
Selling clothes at a discount price. You get it from the retail stores and you sell it back to the community.
It's often something that is utilized when people don't have enough money. It's just a fact of how things break down when everybody's getting paid less and less and trying to afford the same things.
Teaming up with director Boots Riley, I Love Boosters, offering a fresh take on fashion cinema, infusing expensive fashion into low-income communities.
And what's interesting is that the communities that use it are often the communities that inspire the fashion houses in the first place.
The film, tackling fashion politics in its chicest form.
I don't care if they know it was us. I care that Christy Smith hates that they know it was us.
Known for her inspiring performance in Akeelah and the Bee.
Argelaceous.
That's correct.
Starring in Jordan Peele's sci-fi horror, Nope.
Run, OJ! Run!
And opposite Jennifer Lopez in Hustlers.
Hey, these are my sisters.
The former Nickelodeon star, now embodying the character of Corvette.
I'm curious if this role took you back to your True Jackson VP days.
Once people see my great ideas, they'll know I'm not just here because I'm lucky.
Yeah. You know, I definitely did with the fashion. It also brought me back to the stage in my life where I was still trying to figure out how to understand my value, especially in terms of institutions that don't necessarily make space for people like me.
Keke's character, leading a lady gang in looting escapades.
We empty out every single Metro designer in the Bay Area.
You know, Demi Moore played the woman that you wanted to be like in the film. I'm curious what that was like working with her.
I mean, I was so excited. We all were. And so it was lovely working with her and also to see her act up close. I think she's such an effortless performer, but watching her, I was able to really see the nuances and the choices that she was making to bring a very real character to life. We all know some founder that act like that.
I'm an innovator making art.
And they just them two bouncing off of each other. It's electric, and it's two flavors that together that make this new thing that we haven't had before.
Moore playing a fashion designer, producing couture while stealing designs from low-income neighborhoods.
I think the film did a good job of encapsulating community, which brings me to your character, Corvette. We meet her at such a pivotal time. She sees someone stolen her designs, and then what's behind her sadness and her longing as she's boosting?
The desire to be valued and to be seen as someone that has value. We see it all the time, even in digital media. You know, you'll see somebody do some crazy viral video, and then it's the thing for the brands, and then they're not able to actually be a part of that win. So with, you know, it's that scene, the trailer scene where she says,
"Give it to me. It's mine anyway."
The people that have created the culture can't afford it, you know.
It's crazy.
Filmmaker Boots Riley birthed the concept of I Love Boosters more than 20 years ago.
You actually had a song called I Love Boosters.
Pick a bigger weapon.
Yeah. Yes, back in 2006.
I love the boosters, they love the boosters, you should love them too.
What we are looking for is freedom off it, especially, you know, in the Black community. We'll be looking for examples of someone who has made it and been successful, and that's because you also are thinking about, I would love to have a life where I'm not worried about paying the rent.
The film already at 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, but critics online questioning booster culture.
I saw a comment on the trailer. This one stuck out to me. It said specifically, "Why are we glorifying looting?" But the reply to that comment was even more poignant. It said, "No one questions Ocean's 11. No one questions the money heist."
Or the
Film.
thousands
Yes.
of mafia movies that are classics.
Why do you think that this is the hard line of morality?
It's the same thing what Christy Smith says.
They're low-class urban bitches. With all due respect to urban bitches.
Urban bitches. You know, it's the perception that people have of someone that decides what gets and deserves empathy, compassion, and understanding. When you see a group of girls together, the Velvet Gang, women of color, if that's what you are perceiving them as, that's what it gets compressed to.
Black women are villainized, and it is not a new thing. You know, we're in a world where the whole working class is being exploited, and there is a tendency to say it has nothing to do with capitalism. It has something to do with black folks or people of color. And so it all gets pointed that way.
For Kiki and Boots, the conversation around boosters is deeper than just fashion in the film.
I think it inherently feels a little political, like fashion does. Even when you think about like the Dapper era and just like the idea also of black people getting the opportunity to even be seen differently because of the clothes that they wore. It allows you to have the conversation about what that means and why that is and if that's correct.
Our thanks to Morgan. I Love Boosters is now in theaters. When we come back, the Emmy winner opening up about going under the knife, revealing her before and after photos, and how she feels about getting a facelift now. And finally tonight, former TV host Rosie O'Donnell's surprising admission. Revealing her facelift before and after photos on Instagram. The Emmy-winning comedian and actress from films like A League of Their Own.
How long you been working on that, Doris?
That took me about a year. Not counting them 2 months I was in the hospital, bat hit me right in the head, bam.
Also writing about the decision to go under the knife on Substack, saying the operation cost more money than I've ever paid for a car. The 64-year-old also writing she once thought she'd never get one, but the decision came after losing 50 pounds on Mounjaro, and now is, quote, happier than I have been in years. Gotta love Rosie. That's Nightline. You can watch all of our full episodes on Disney Plus and Hulu. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.